So have you ever wanted to try all of the different AI video generation tools without having to download or sign up for all these different services? I mean, there's a new top AI model every week. How about just one tool instead? Let's just simplify everything. Today, I'm showing you how to access Kling AI, Runway, Hailuo AI, Luma, Vidu, PixVerse, Seaweed, and Wanx AI all in one place through Pollo AI. Whether you're looking to create animations or edit videos or generate completely new content, you can do it all from a single platform, and you can use that content for your own projects however you like. In this video, we're going to be using each model to turn an image into a video, and we'll be comparing the results. Before you dive in, I highly suggest you head over to Pollo AI to create a free account so you can follow along with this video. There's a link in the description as well. All right, let's get into it. I think you're going to love it. Okay, so we are inside of Pollo, and this is the home dashboard. In this video, we're going to be turning images into videos using all kinds of different AI models. So first we need to find the image to video page inside of Pollo. So if we go over to the side menu here, you can see we have the image to video option. Click on that. And from here, we will be doing all of our generations. So on the right side here is a feed, and this is where all of your generations live. No matter what tool you're using inside of Pollo, they all show up right here. But for this video, we're going to be using this panel here to control all of our generations. So at the top up here, we have the option to select a different model. And as you can see, there's a lot. We have Pollo, Runway, Kling, Hailuo, PixVerse, Vidu, Luma again, Wanx, Seaweed, another Hailuo model, and Kling models. A lot of choices. So what I'm going to do is take a starter image, and we're going to run it through several models at the same time. And we're not going to do all of the models, but we'll do a handful for each image. And then you guys can get an idea of kind of how the controls work for each model and how they perform with our starter images. To begin, we'll start with Pollo 1.5. This is our own model. And you can see it has limited controls, but it has very minimal credits required. So it's a great place to start. So first, let's upload an image, and I think we'll start with this one. So this is just a Pixar cartoon of a puppy. So we'll use that. And if you see this toggle up here, this allows you to add another image. Maybe if you've generated two similar images and you want to take the viewer from the first image to the second image, you can use two, and it will create this transition from the first to the second image. We're not going to do that in this video, but that is a pretty cool option if you want to use it. So beneath that, we have the option to add a prompt. If we click generate with AI, we can actually write an even better prompt. So this is one of the best parts about Pollo. So if we put a prompt in here that we want to use, we can click continue, and it will actually analyze it and write a better prompt for you. The second one looks good, so let's click confirm, and it will paste it into our prompt field. Now, we have the option to select 5 and 10 seconds. The biggest difference being that it doubles the credits required, but I'm going to do 5 because it will also generate quicker for this video. So we'll use 5 seconds. Public visibility means that whatever you generate might show up in this explore page up here of Pollo. This is where the community can see what everyone's kind of generating, what they're working on. And if you don't want your generations to end up there, you can turn that off. And copy protection means that if you upload an image like I did with this dog, or if you use a prompt, you can block them from being copied by other users. So that doesn't really matter for us because we're not going to have it publicly visible, but you can have that on or off depending on preference. So now we've got this dog uploaded. Let's click create, and that will start to generate. Now let's go ahead and get it going with a couple other models here. Let's try Runway with this puppy. We get a few more options here. We'll use the same prompt, but we will go with this 9:16. We'll do 5 seconds. So you'll notice we now have the option for a seed. This kind of dictates the style of your generation. And if you like the style that you previously generated, you can reuse that seed if you wanted to, or you can just refresh it and get another one. So that's kind of an advanced feature, but it's not really something we need to worry about in this video, that's for sure. As you can see with Runway, the credit requirements went up to 40 from 10 for a 5-second video. So in theory, the Runway generations should be much more impressive, but that will be up for us to decide in a minute. So let's click create on that one and get it going. And now let's try this Kling model. So Kling 1.6, we got some more options here. we have standard and professional mode. So let's use the professional mode because we want to give Kling its best chance at succeeding here. So we'll do professional mode. Below that, we have the option with this prompt strength slider. So basically, if you want your AI model to be more creative, bring this to the left and it will take some more creative liberties, or it'll try and follow the prompt more closely all the way on the right. Let's go ahead and do like 15%. That way it just does its best, right? We don't want it to try and limit it too much. So this is gonna be a 5-second video. We also have the option to do a negative prompt in this one. If in one of your previous generations you got a result you didn't like very much, let's say there was too much movement or something was wrong in the background, you could describe that in the negative prompt section, and that would hopefully limit the chances of that reoccurring in your subsequent generations. We're going to leave that blank because we don't know what could go wrong with this first generation, but that is an option if you want to clean up your generation. So for this one, I'll click create. And then once this one's done, we'll go ahead and look through the 3 that we just did. Okay, so those 3 generations are done, and let's compare the results. So the first one here was the Pollo model, and it looks like it maintained the same aspect ratio of the image we gave it. And we don't have a ton of movement, but we do have this image of a person walking behind the dog. So that's pretty cool. Everything makes sense. I mean, the dog's eyes are kind of tracking correctly. He's taking a look around. Overall, this adds a little bit of movement, but we didn't get some of the instructions that we asked for in the prompt. So that's a good place to start, but we can expect better results from these next models, hopefully. So now we have the Runway Gen 3 model, and we're getting more movement here. Everything is just a little bit more crisp. He kind of looks like he's starting to attempt to lick, but we're not actually getting any of that action here. The camera moves in slightly. Overall, this is a really cool example that you could absolutely use, right? This is pretty nice. It's a 9x16. And then next we have the Kling 1.6 model here. And this is a lot more movement, right? I mean, the dog is literally standing up and he's walking towards the camera. I'm sure if we did a 10-second generation here, we might lick the camera because Kling seems to be really following our prompt very closely. And overall, this is definitely the best result we've got so far. I'm surprised that it did better than Runway, to be honest, because Runway is generally considered one of the industry leaders. And so this is a great example from Kling, and everything just makes sense in this video. Just overall, it just looks great. Now, before we progress into the next models, I want to show you guys what's going on this side panel here. At the top here, you see all of the metadata related to the image, right? We have the model and the mode and the prompt strength. We can copy the prompt if we want, and we can access the original image. We have the option to favorite images here so we can find them later. And then at the bottom, we have the option to click some of these buttons. We can regenerate if we didn't like the result. We can upscale this to 4K resolution if we want to. We can take this video and turn it into a video, or we can click create a similar video and it will pull all the information in here and we can reuse it. So you have a lot of controls here with things that you've generated inside of Pollo. You can also click copy to share this or share to social media. And then if you click these little dots right here, you can select to download your image without a watermark. So there's lots of options for you to work with here inside of the generations. Now let's do another generation with some new models. Let me click the trash can right there and we will upload another image. This time I'm going to upload this image of a woman standing beside a window, and we're going to see what kind of results we can get with that. So let's start with the Hailuo AI model, and we don't have very many controls here, but let's go ahead and give it a prompt. So I wrote a prompt: moody glare from a woman beside a window waiting for her future. A few lights flicker in the distance. Click continue, and the AI will analyze that, and we can see we have a few options. Go ahead and go with this first one and we'll see what happens. So we have the same controls of just public visibility and copy protection. So not much to do here, but the credits do go up to 50. So it's interesting, right? More exclusive credits, but less controls. So we'll have to see how it performs. Let's click create on that one and get it started. That one will take about 3 minutes. So let's go ahead and get another one going as well. Let's do this PixVerse v35. And look at that, we have a lot more options. So let's go ahead and do performance. We'll do 5 seconds again. We have the option to select a style. So we're not really going for anything specifically other than the existing style of this image. So we'll leave it as auto. For resolution, Let's go ahead and do normal, and we'll do 1080. That way that probably makes a little bit more sense. So let's do 1080p on auto. We have a seed option here. We're gonna leave that the same. And we do have the negative prompt again. We'll just leave that the way it is. This one's only 20 credits. Okay, so let's click create and get this one going. Now, let's go ahead and do the Vidu model as well. That way we can take a look at that model with this example image. So let's do the same prompt, 1080p, and for motion range, we'll leave it as auto. That way the AI can kind of hopefully follow the prompt. So let's click create, and I will cut to the finished generations as soon as they're done. Okay, now those generations are finished. Let's take a look. So let's first look at this Hailuo model. Okay, so this is cool. We get a blink in this first generation, and everything looks really great. There's not a lot going on other than the blink. We do see some movement in the window here. It looks like someone is maybe walking outside the blurry window, and we do have kind of a light effect here. So I think this was 40 credits. So I don't know if this is the most impressive result, but we'll see how it compares to the other models before we make that full judgment. Now we have the PixVerse model, and this is interesting because this is completely different, right? They've generated a hand that goes with the woman, and I don't know if the way that she's placing it on her face is the most convincing, but I think regardless, it's a very impressive result. It also realized that she was sitting in a car, it looks like, and you can see it now has some buildings and telephone poles and things passing her by in the car as it shows her driving somewhere. I think that is incredible because everything just makes sense in this image. We're seeing some movement in her face as well. There's definitely some things going on that aren't perfect that make it look AI generated, but overall, it's just incredible generation, right? Now, the last one is this Vidu model, and let's see what we got. So this one gave us the lights flickering the best, right? Based on our prompt, but then there's just no movement from her at all. So that's interesting, right? It's not exactly what we're looking for, and it's not the best generation just in general, right? There's not much we can do with this. It looks more like an image than a video. So this one is a bit disappointing, but hopefully it's just a one-off on this model. I'm sure if we did another generation, we get a different result, right? So let's move on to the next generations now. So let's clear out this image and upload something else. This time I have this fictional image of a creature that looks like it has some lights on it. Yeah, this is an AI generated image that I thought would be kind of interesting to push these AI models a bit with and see how they respond to something that just doesn't exist. So let's click OK on that and get it uploaded. We're going to be using this Luma model, and I think we'll do both Luma models just to see the difference here, but we'll start with 2, and we'll clear out the prompt and do a new prompt. So let's go. Okay, so I wrote a creature with an illuminated body and wings floats in the air, and we're going to let that generate. So we'll do this first one. We'll click confirm. That will get pasted in, and let's select 720p. We'll do 5 seconds, and we'll go ahead and do a 16:9 aspect ratio for this, and let's click create. Keep in mind, this is 100 credits. This is actually the most expensive one we've seen, so we'll have to see if it justifies that credit cost, right? Now let's go ahead and do the other Luma model as well. This one's only 60 credits. Click create on that one, get that one started. Now let's go ahead and do this Wanx 2.1 model. We have the option to select fast or professional. We'll go ahead and go with the professional option here, just so we can see the best version. This one's 80 credits, and we're going to click create. Okay, so we'll let those finish up and then I will show you guys the results. Okay, so let's take a look at what we generated. So this first one here is the Luma model, and we're not getting much of anything, right? We're just getting a slow pan to the right on an image, basically. So this is not exactly what we were looking for. Not the best result, right? Hopefully the next ones are better than that. So next we have this one, and this is Luma 1.6. We're getting much more movement in the 1.6 version, so I'm guessing that the 2 version just didn't have a good generation, and this is a better example of what's possible. We're getting a little bit of movement in the hands, but you do see they're transforming a bit. So overall, Luma is not the best option for this generation, but let's see what the next one does. So this is the Wanx model, and right, this is just an entirely different level of generation. So we see wings actually flapping. He's taking a look around. We have a planet in the background. This is, a great example of what we were looking for from an AI generation. And everything looked really crisp, and it gets a little bit weird at the end as it looks like his eyes kind of start to reflect light from a source. I'm not sure what's going on there, but everything looks really cool. This is good enough to where if you were telling a story or doing some kind of cartoon, this is something you could use, right? This is something that you could implement into a workflow, and you can use this to create something, right? So we have a few more models on our list, so let's go ahead and go through those as well. So we have this Seaweed model, and we're gonna do a image of a car. I think this is for a dynamic video. So let's go ahead and get this dynamic image of a sports car, right? So it looks like the car is moving already. So we'll see what the AI model does with that. And let's go ahead and generate a prompt. So we can write a sports car races through the mountains, and let's let that analyze that. This one looks pretty good. So we'll click confirm, and we're gonna go ahead and let that be a 5-second generation. We'll do the 16:9 aspect ratio, and we'll click create for just 40 credits this time. And then let's go ahead and do these Kling models as well, and then we'll do this Hailuo one in a second. So we have 1.5 and 1.0, so we'll go ahead and do both of these for this same example image. So we'll do professional, we'll let it be as creative as it wants to, we'll do 5 seconds, and we'll leave the negative prompt blank. Let's click create on this 40 credit generation as well, and we'll do the same exact thing for 1.0 and just see how it compares. So it's equally 40 credits, not any cheaper. So we'll see at the same rate of 40 credits for each Kling model, which one is the best, right? We'll click create on that. And we have those generating, but I want to also do the Hailuo model. So this was good for 2D animations. Because this model has its own specialty, we're going to do a starter image that is a 2D anime portrait. So we'll see how it does with this. I feel like it wouldn't make any sense to do one of the more dynamic, realistic images when it specializes in doing 2D like anime styles, right? So we'll click generate with AI. I wrote a girl laughs while out in nature, slow camera zoom. We'll click continue. This one looks pretty good. We'll click confirm and get the generation started for 50 credits. I will let these finish up, and then I'll show you guys what we got. Okay, so those generations have finished up, and let's check them out. So first we have the Seaweed generation, and this looks really great. We have a little bit of a strange behavior in the road, and then he almost hits this the cliffside here, but the quality looks great. If he just hit a little bit more of a turn at the very end of this clip, it would have been a lot more convincing. But overall, it's pretty great, right? Now, next we have the Kling 1.5. We have a little bit lower quality in terms of the subject. The car looks a little weird, but then we get a lot more movement in the scene, right? So there's these trade-offs that you have to decide between, right? So we're seeing, he's turning, he's following the road a little better in this one, and we're getting new scenery being generated. It's a very dynamic clip, but is it the same quality? If we look at the one before again, we have a lot more definition in the car and in the rocks and everything. We just don't have the best kind of movement, right? So you kind of have to decide what you prefer. Now we also have the Kling 1.0 model generation, and this one doesn't seem to be as good as the other Kling generation, right? We have a lot of weird things going on here, but it's the idea is right from the model, but then it just doesn't quite do as great of a job for us, but that's okay. Now we have the Hailuo model, and I went ahead and did a second generation because we had this first one and we had a prompt here telling it what to do, and look what we got. So we get some movement a little bit from her, but then it pans out and it's just kind of a weird clip, right? It's very minimal movement and then this pan. So we didn't describe that in the prompt, but it decided to capture the mirrored landscape here, and it did, but it's not exactly what we might have wanted. So then in the second generation, I decided to just leave it without a prompt, and this just gave us a nice animation of her laughing, right? So this is something you could probably use a little bit more easily. There's not a lot going on, but they did animate the image we provided. So this kind of gives you an idea of how powerful the prompt is. It can make or break a generation, right? And sometimes if you just want a little bit of movement, then doing no prompt at all can give you a great result that you can use in your projects. So this is just the beginning of what you can do inside of Pollo. At the beginning, we saw this home dashboard, and there's so much going on. We have the community tab where you can see everything else what people are creating. We have a lot of things going on the side menu that I want to show you guys really quickly. So we have the image to video, which you saw. We have text to video, which means you don't have to provide an image. You can just type in a text and it will create a video for you. You can go to consistent character video and you can upload images of a face, of a cartoon, and you can recreate videos over and over again with the same face, the same character, right? That is just massive because you can use it so many different ways. You can tell stories with multiple videos in a row. This is great if you're trying to use a consistent face, right? Really powerful. We have the option to take a video and stylize it into an anime if you want. Lots of different styles. You can create an AI animation from text with all of these different anime styles, which is really incredible. And you have the option to use all these different AI video effects that we have preset inside of Pollo that you can use to create a shocked face or an inflate effect or AI kissing, so many different things, right? And then you can also use Pollo for image generation. So all the images we saw today are actually generated inside of Pollo, and you have a lot of models to choose from as well for image generation. And this is just with text. So you can take text and turn it into an image, or you can take an image and turn it into another image, right? So we have image generation as well. Finally, we also have some AI video editing tools that you can use inside of Pollo. You can upscale a video, you can enhance it, you can do face swapping. So many really powerful things. And you also have AI tools for images as well, not just videos. So you can remove the background of something. You can generate characters. You can generate tattoos. There's so many ways that you can get creative with this Pollo tool, all in one. It's incredible. All right, guys, that's how you can access and use all of these powerful AI video tools through Pollo. If you haven't checked it out yet, head over to pollo.ai and start experimenting with these tools right now. If you found this video helpful, please give the video a like and subscribe so you can get more videos like these that will help you stay on the cutting edge of AI. Here's some more videos that we made that I think you should absolutely watch to learn more about Pollo. This video was just the beginning of what's possible. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.